to talk about exits because you know you're all venture capitalists. That's what gets you up in the morning. You know, you're not charities. We've seen a couple of you know, quite decent exits here in Turkey. How would you characterize the potential for exits? I mean, for example, what are the public markets like here? You know, is there an IPO strategy, or is it all going to be exits to trade? Ali, I'm going to have to look at you on that one to start, and then the rest of you jump in.
I think the public markets are not there yet, at least, you know, for the sizes that we are looking at. You know, when you're saying public markets, you're talking about market caps at least above 100 million. So it will be tough for our companies, at least in the short term, to seek exits in the public market, even though there is a new, smaller market that was just established, and I think they have 1 or 2 companies in them. And it's very easy, actually, to go public in that market. So I think it's going to be mainly trade sales for the companies that we are investing in. And when you look at, you know, Marcafoni or Gidiyor, they were both trade sale type of exits.
And trade sales to who? I mean, that was eBay and Amazon, so that was, you know, US companies. What about
and then it was Naspers from South Africa.
Yes, that's true.
That was the other one. But what I'm also expecting in the near future is these are obviously foreign players coming to Turkey and taking over decent companies. What I think is I think Turkish conglomerates, Turkish bigwigs will start, you know, acquiring some of these companies as well. That's one of my bets.
How acquisitive? Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest challenges or unknowns for Turkey right now. If you look at the e-commerce, at least since the majority of the things we saw yesterday, at least, were e-commerce related, and please jump in if you disagree. I think there's a punt here for Turkish e-commerce companies at this stage, and at the same time then for the investors, because in their, as Charles said, in their assumptions from the day one, before they actually wire the money, they have to somehow rationalize who is going to be the potential buyer for how much. And I get to both. Who is? Well, in e-commerce, there's a limited universe of international buyers that do usually invest significant amounts of money through acquisitions in countries like consumer-heavy countries like Turkey, Germany, UK, Russia eventually. And again, I use Russia as a proxy. Unless a country has the potential to create demand that is acquirers from within, you have a problem potentially. Because that means you can only sell to eBay, Amazon, Naspers, Rakuten, and a number of others. Maybe companies we don't even know yet will be acquisitive in emerging markets. We have seen them all getting acquisitive at different rhythms. Naspers being certainly very much emerging markets focused. They have made their bet in Turkey, at least one. I'm not sure they're going to make another one, or whether they build out of the platform they have acquired. I think the latter is more likely than the former. So they're gone, forget them. Unless you have a very different business model or a very different vertical in e-commerce again, they will probably not be on the top list of acquirers. eBay has done their acquisition. Now they're typically more acquisitive. I sold Brands for Friends to them, so I know that sometimes they make moves that are not essentially, we sold Skype to them, they're not necessarily moves that you can consider being logical moves in the first place. But nonetheless, you don't complain if you can sell them to them. But they have made their first bet, at least, in Turkey. Rakuten is actually one of those who is acquisitive in emerging markets. I've seen them active in Japan, in Russia now.
Yeah, they're in Ozone, yeah.
Yes. And they've also acquired in Western Europe. So will they lay their eye on Turkey? Maybe. But you as an investor, you better make an assumption and find out to the best you can whether Turkey is even on their map anytime soon. And soon means like in the next 3 years.